To say that the backlash for the Olympics has been massive would probably be an understatement, but, you know, I don't mean to make a pun considering the creature that we're looking at right now. But this creature right here was a centerpiece of the Last Supper mockery that we saw during the Olympics. And all of a sudden, she is now so upset over the mockery of her that she's now threatening to sue every single supposed right-wing hater that she has.
Your Honor, even a man of obvious limited intelligence as yourself can judge this case.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, because apparently for these kind of people, they live in a world of black and white. And I can't stand people like that, right? I can't stand people that can't look at something objectively and they can only look at it through the eyes of black and white. There is no gray to these people. And essentially what I mean by that is when creatures like this get angry because of the hatred that's going their way or because of the mockery that's going their way, because they live in a world of black and white, they only view that hatred as coming from right-wing haters, which we all know that's bullshit. A lot of the people who are angry are honestly centrists. They're not even right-wing, they're not left-wing, they're not anything. Some of them might be center-right-leaning, some of them might be center-left-leaning, but overall, you don't exactly have to be right-wing to understand what mockery is towards a religion. So let's get into this article, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Olympics Last Supper star threatens to sue her right-wing haters. Barbara Butch, which, I mean, I'm not trying to make a joke on anybody's name here, but this looks like a Barbara Butch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen somebody with a name and you're like, yep, your name pretty much defined you. This is this is that kind of person. This is definitely a Barbara Butch. Condemns this vile hatred directed at her, what she represents, and what she stands for. The performer at the center of the controversial opening ceremony says, well, I mean, it's pretty easy to understand what you stand for, right? I mean, number one, you don't stand very much at all, which is very obvious. And number two, I mean, you could only speak in diabetes so much before people get annoyed with you, right? You can mock the Last Supper in form of diabetes, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you don't get the right to mock someone's religion and then get mad when someone's mocking you, right? Fair is fair at this point. So if you're going to mock Christians, then they should have the ability to mock you in every manner imaginable. Who gives a fuck about your identity? Who gives a fuck about what you believe in? Because you didn't care what anybody else believed in when you decided to join in on this nonsense. You found out that, oh, I get to be center star? Yay, I cannot wait. Sure, I don't care what that comes at a cost of. Who cares? It says the drag artist at the center of, oh, it's a dude. Oh, that makes sense. The drag artist at the center of the Paris Olympics opening ceremony performance that drew right-wing outrage for apparently mocking Christ's Last Supper is firing back. Yeah, sure, firing back. I mean, how much can she really fire back before she gets winded? And I keep saying she because I just found out it's a dude, so my bad. Barbara Butch said to his attorney that he had been targeted with death threats, anti-Semitism, and fat phobia, and said that he was planning to sue people who had targeted her. How are you going to do that? How the fuck are you going to do that, right? Like, okay, death threats, can you prove it? Are you ever going to prove it? The people who, like, you know what I find funny? People on this particular side of the aisle, they love to use the victim narrative, and yet they never have any proof of it, right? And the crazy thing is, it's so easy for them to fake proof of it, where most of the internet who's stupid enough will believe them, and yet they won't even do that. They won't even do the bare minimum to try to fake it and get people to fall for their victim narrative. They just go out there and say, yep, I got death threats, I got this, I got that, with no proof whatsoever to the claim. But of course, you know, this is their mindset. Now, I think it's hilarious that you think you can sue for someone being against you being fat. Like that. That's interesting. I would love to see the outcome of that lawsuit. I highly doubt you'd have the money for that lawsuit anyway, and I highly doubt you even have the patience to stand up long enough to partake in that lawsuit. So again, I really don't think this is going to happen, but, you know, I find it interesting that you're willing to go this far when someone mocks you. But when someone is angry at you mocking them, oh, well, they should just take it. Stop being a bigot. Since the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, artists, DJ, and activists, of course they're an activist, Barbara Butch has been target of an extremely violent campaign of cyber harassment and defamation. A statement from his lawyer read, he has been threatened with death, torture, and R-word, and has also been a target of numerous anti-Semitic, homophobic, sexist, and Grossophobic. What the fuck is a grossophobic now? Man, you guys are just adding more and more titles so that you can claim more and more victimhood. Barbara Butch condemns the vile hatred directed at him, what he represents, and what he stands for. The statement finished, he is today filing several complaints against these acts, whether committed by French nationals or foreigners, in attempts to prosecute anyone who tries to intimidate him in the future. That is incredible. Congratulations. Let's see if you actually got the balls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be real. Let's see if you got the balls to do this, because I highly doubt you do. And you don't really have a case. I mean, I don't know what the laws are in the country of which you are, you're, I guess, sitting in or whatever, but I don't really think you have a case here for much else other than people being mad at your mockery, right? You need to grow a spine at this point. If you're going to mock people, you should be okay with people mocking you, right? Like, all the time, I make fun of Twitch e-thoughts, and yet on my live stream, I wear cat girl ears, and I laugh at myself, right? You should be okay with people making fun of you if you make fun of them. The moment it goes too far for you, then perhaps you went too far for them. You guys are really ridiculous in this notion that you think you're untouchable. You think that you can just say whatever the fuck you want and nobody's allowed to critique you, right? Nobody's saying you can't say what you want. I'm all for you saying what you want. But at the end of the day, people should be able to critique you. That's how the world works. And the fact that you're so fucking sensitive that you can't handle that is amazing. You're no different than the Olympics trying to DMCA falsely strike every channel that's covering the footage that they themselves deleted. You're no different, and it's not shocking. The statement finished, he is today filing several complaints against these acts, whether committed by French nationals, blah, 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 blah. Butch added on his Instagram, all my life, I have refused to be a victim. I will not remain silent. I am not afraid of those who hide behind a screen or a pseudonym to vomit their hatred and their frustrations. Yeah, well, you apparently are perfectly fine. You know what's amazing? Listen, let's stop this whole stunning and brave thing. Can we stop? Because you're not convincing anybody you're tough. You're not convincing anybody you're stunning, and you're definitely not convincing anybody you're brave by siding with the mainstream narrative, right? It's so easy to come out in public and say, oh, whatever, I'm not going to be afraid, I'm going to say what I want, blah, 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 when the entire mainstream narrative is supporting you. That doesn't take bravery. That is easy. That is complacency. There is nothing hard about that. You chose the easy route. When you talk against the narrative, when you speak out against the grain, that takes a lot more stunning and bravery than your bullshit will ever do. And that's a fact. So at the end of the day, man, you have the mainstream support. What are you being brave about? There's nothing being brave about. I would think you're being more brave if you decide to skip a soda, right? Like, I think that's more brave because that actually takes a lot of effort from someone of your creature caliber. It says the controversial segment featured Butch and a group of other drag artists, if you want to call them artists, in what appeared to be a homage to Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. It drew complaints from Christian groups and prominent conservatives, including Elon Musk and Kansas City's Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker. You know what's amazing? Prominent conservatives and then Elon Musk in the same sentence. It's literally factually retarded, right? Elon Musk has said multiple times that he is not a conservative, and yet people still try to bundle him up as being a conservative because it fits their narrative, right? It's the most stupid thing in the world, but this is how you know they live in a world of black and white. Anybody who disagrees with me has to be a conservative. There is no way that anybody else will disagree with me because my narrative is king. That's the ideology that these fucking retards have, where, oh yeah, there's no way. I am the top ideology in the world, and the only people who disagree with me are conservatives. That is no way, shape, or form a lie. It is 100% a lie. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.